All right, welcome to the Deck Tech. So 4-1 today. Again, really that was 3-0 and then 1-1. Since that was two separate leagues, I do want to be clear about that, I guess. That first league we did finish 4-1. I do not know how this second league is going to finish yet, as we are 1-1, but I will finish it in my stream today shortly. That said, I still did like the list. I would be interested in trying dismembers, as Collins mentioned. I'm not sure if it's necessary, but it could be necessary if people react by playing a lot of problematic creatures, whether that's something like Devoted Druids, whether that's something like Skir Tribe Scouts. I mean, I don't really necessarily think that's definitively a problematic matchup, but obviously in those kind of matchups, Meddling Mage can try to shore up that problem a lot, some combination of Meddling Mage and Freebooter, but perhaps some dismembers would assist there as well. So I'm not sure. It would be something interesting to test, but other than that, I like the list a lot. We did mention Company briefly in the Deck Tech. I still don't think that's really where the deck needs to be. But if you did want to try Company, you could modify the mana base, perhaps removing Ziggurats to support that a little bit better, or you could go more towards like an Abzan or Bant list. I think losing either Freebooter or Meddling Mage would be too painful, and I think losing Noble Hierarch would be too painful, so I don't think you'd be interested in an Esper list, but those are certainly places that you could experiment if you were so inclined. You might also find a mana base for a 4-color list that doesn't include Ziggurat, that doesn't include Mana Confluence, but I bet it would be just as painful as a mana base that included Mana Confluence. So I'm not really particularly interested in that either. But it might be somewhere worth exploring as well. That said, I don't really have a lot of other insight. We mentioned that Tireless Striker versus Dark Confidant. I would perhaps be interested in testing Dark Confidant in the like 20 or so matches I've played thus far. I cannot recall making more than 1 or 2 clues with Tireless Striker in all of the matches. We haven't sided it in terribly often, maybe 4 or so times, 4 or so matches, 5 matches. But Dark Confidant could be better, lower to the ground. Plus, our sideboard is really, really 3 heavy. So in matchups where we're interested in siding in Trekkers, we might be siding in a bunch of other 3s anyway. Especially matchups where we're less excited about like Freebooter and Thalia. You end up siding out a lot of 2s and then siding in a whole bunch of 3s. I don't remember if that really happened in this league, or in these 5 matches here, but maybe Dark Confidant would be good in those spots. I don't know if the matchups where you're not interested in Thalia and Freebooter, if Dark Confidant would be good anyway. Probably not. I doubt there's unlikely to be a lot of overlap in those 2 kinds of matchups, but that might be something worth trying. I haven't really utilized these Fiend Hunters a lot, but I think it's more that I haven't really drawn them. I've sided them in against like Eldrazi decks, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, but I just haven't really seen them very much. So maybe that's why I'm thinking I haven't really utilized them. I think they're probably worth their slot in the board for sure. I've liked the Renegades and the Canonists. Zathra Necromancer, I think, is a powerful option that's good to have access to, as well as Staticaster. The Anafenza might just be kind of a filler slot. I've sided it in a fair number of times, but I don't really know if it's ever been that exciting for us, and it's kind of slow at doing what we want it to do, which is be efficient graveyard hate against Dredge, I guess. But anyway, all that said, I think I'm interested in continuing to try the list, but I don't necessarily really want to make any changes, so we'll see how it moves forward. I think this list is very powerful. I think it offers a lot of options. There are obviously a lot of good humans with a lot of good effects, and you can definitely cater this deck very well towards particular metagames. I'm sure you could shift it to beat certain decks. I'm concerned that it may struggle against traditional control decks, and I'm not exactly sure how to shore that up other than like a bunch of Bobs and Trackers and stuff like that, although I'm not even convinced that will do it. It's hard to catch up in matchups like that when we are such a low-to-the-ground disruptive deck, and we don't have any sort of card advantage elements other than these 2 Tireless Trekkers. So that would be something we'd have to shift if people started combating this deck by moving towards control strategies. That said, I appreciate you tuning in and watching all these matches today. If you want to see anything different, certainly let me know in the comments, and I will do my best to respond to you. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day. Have a good one.